But I wanted to come on here real quick and just give some updates that came up for me this morning around some important things for this week. Um, so today is the second 8-8 portal of three that we have for this month. So today is the 17th, and so that makes it an 8. But it's also doing something interesting that I'll talk about here in a little bit. I'm gonna quickly and give you some information about what's going on right now. I'm good, thank you. I avoided washing my hair yesterday because I didn't want to be on live stream with my hair dripping down my back, and then decided to wash it today, and then decided to go live. So, but that's the worst of my problems. So that means that's a pretty good day. Actually a very good day in comparison to some others. So I hope you're doing well as well, Tarot Gothis. All right, so here's what I wanted to talk about. Um, it was meant to be to just have water dripping down my back. Good. I'm glad you are great. That's wonderful. All right. So today is the second um 8-8 portal we have for August. So we talked a lot about the 8-8 portal that was last Friday, which was the exact 8, and why that was so powerful because so many ancient traditions and a lot of different groups of people reverence that day as a very high powered day. And so that made that portal really important and really big energy. But we do have two other 8-8 portals in August that are generating a lot of the same energy and that we can use in the same way. It's just not as big because we don't have as many people recognizing it as a big portal day. But today is the 17th, and so of course 1 plus 7 is 8, so it is another 8-8 portal. What's interesting about this though is that when because August is a 17-8, it's actually creating this double portal like this, where it's 17 and then oh, not like that. Not like that. It's like this because it's 17-17. So it's creating this portal in that these ones are wanting to be together, and so it's pushing out one of these sevens, but then also the sevens want to be together, and so it's pushing out one of these ones. And so this is generating some interesting energy today. So I wanted everybody to be aware of that. Um, the big thing I wanted to make sure to talk about is that next week, on the 22nd, 23rd, so right here, we talked about this when we talked about the August vibrations. So a couple of Saturdays ago, like 3 or 4 Saturdays ago, we talked about the August vibrations, and we talked about this new moon in Virgo. This new moon in Virgo is coming up as we already talked about how much it was very important, and I'll go over that again here in just a second. But it's coming up again as very important and influential in energies that we have going on right now. So the first thing is that it is within a 9 cycle. So we have a 9 cycle. So the 20th is 1, 21st is 2. And I don't know if you can see here, but these are the calculations for how I'm getting 1, 2, and then the 22nd is 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see. Wait. Oh, no. 5 would be Sunday here. Ah! That is not what I meant to do. We'll just scribble that out. Then this is 6. Then this is 7, 8, and 9. And so when we have these 9 cycles, we can use this energy to generate a buildup of energy. So we talked about a little bit yesterday how when we're manifesting, any of the techniques we're using to manifesting, as long as it's building up energy, we can do some really big things. And so what's happening is this new moon is perfect for setting intentions. So it's the intention setting. And I'll go into that in a little bit more detail here in just a second. But we could actually start seeding those intentions here on Wednesday in this cycle, within this 9 cycle. So we can pull energy in today as part of this 8-8 portal. We can use that energy of the portal spinning. We could draw that in and then be able to use it for seeding, beginning to seed these intentions or start using that energy on Wednesday. I just wanted to say again, for anybody that is on the live that's labeled like Saturday live, I don't know what YouTube is doing. YouTube and OBS do not like each other, and neither one of them like me. So I'm not looking at that chat. So if you're over there, just switch over to this other live. It's the Virgo new moon live. They should be right there near each other. I don't know what's happening, and I don't know how to fix it. It's whatever. We're gonna talk about some technology issues as well. So we can really high power and give some good momentum behind our intentions by beginning to, even if it's just thinking about them, maybe start journaling about them, thinking about what you want your intentions to be on Wednesday, and then really planting them in this energy on Friday, Saturday. Because this new moon, it's peaking late in the day on the 22nd. For some people it's the 22nd, and for other people it's on the 23rd. But it peaks like right here, like right in between these days. And then what we can do, because that'll be additional seeding of those intentions, now we can build up this energy even more through this 9 cycle. So we have an opportunity to really build up this energy to manifest our intentions very big. And we've talked about this before, but it just felt like it was important to come and bring this to you. So the other thing I want to show you on this page, I actually have 2 more things, and then we'll go to another page. But also what's happening on this 22nd, so with this new moon, is we have Venus. Oh, hi, Susie. Thanks for coming. We have Venus square Chiron. We also have right before this new 9 cycle begins, here on the 19th, we have the Sun trine Chiron. And why this is so important is because Chiron right now is in retrograde in Aries. So it's spinning backwards. Anytime anything is in retrograde, it's to for us to remember, to review, reevaluate. So right before we're looking at our intention setting on the 20th, we can use this energy where the trine is an opportunity. So this is a strong opportunity point. So on the 19th, we can review, and Chiron in Aries is all about reviewing identity and I am. We have an opportunity to really review this, have it help us make some space for new energy to come in. So by healing and releasing things, now we're bringing in more big energy. So we can use that there. But also, what we can use it for is when we get to this Venus square Chiron. Because when we have a square, now this is tension. So where we have an opportunity of healing here with the Sun and Chiron, here with Venus and Chiron, there's a tension between our identity wounds, because that's this Chiron in Aries retrograde. So we have some tension between our identity wounds and then this flow energy, this attraction energy, which is what we need to manifest. So when we are setting our intentions on the new moon, we really need to make sure that we have looked at and dealt with any of these wounds that are coming up around our identity and I am. We also, and this is the last thing on this page, this page looks crazy. Dang, I wrote a lot. I didn't know this much was going to come out. Anyway, we also have a very strong possibility of seeing some very big events in the hip hop space. And I say that because on the 22nd, so when we have the start of the peaking of that new moon, and we have this tension between the wound and the attraction energy, the manifestation energy, it's actually a 39 day. So a 39-12 day. And what we saw actually yesterday in the live is 39 is the life path number of hip hop. So whenever you have a day where it matches your life path number, it's like putting a spotlight on that life path number. It's amplifying that vibration. So we could potentially be seeing things with this tension between what people are trying to do, what they're trying to put out. It's on a Friday too, which is a lot of times when new music is coming out. So there'll be this tension between some of these wounds and identity, around identity, and the split that we're seeing in hip hop identity right now, and manifesting this energy. Also, we can potentially see people trying to set these intentions in the new moon energy. You usually typically see artists move around the new moons and the full moons, with like putting out new music, making announcements, and that's in all genres. But because of this 39 on the 22nd, it's looking like hip hop could potentially be a big one, for this time, for this moment. The last thing is that this Chiron is in Aries. So Chiron is in Aries. And hip hop has Chiron in Aries. So hip hop is already being amplified, and its wounds are being amplified. That's a lot of what we're seeing right now, is that there's this split and a divide through the wounds of hip hop, the wounds that have been displayed throughout the hip hop genre as an art form, but also the wounds that have been inflicted on hip hop, and also the wounds that hip hop has inflicted are all highlighted right now. And in these aspects, there's going to be even more. So my hope is that we see some healing of these wounds here around the 19th, because that's where we have that opportunity to do that. But we could see some tension also around those wounds coming here, right around that new moon. Yes, yes, Susie, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like it's feeling very much like this is getting amplified with what these wounds are, and what you're willing to fight for. The other thing that we have to be aware of, whether we like to talk about it or not, because I'm one that I don't like to talk about it. The US as a country also has Chiron in Aries. So we need to be prepared and expect to see some revelations of this wound, some tensions around the wound, around this day in the US as well. Because the US is going through this also. So, interesting things. Oh, I thought that was the last thing, and now something else is coming up. So, the other thing is, I want to show you how to calculate your own day. So, those are all the vibrations of the overall day. But if you want to know your specific vibration for any day, you take your month of birth, so your birth month, plus your birthday, not the whole birthday. Oh my gosh, I cannot write words because too many numbers are going through my brain. And then you add that to the date. And with the date, we do it just like our life path numbers, where we do the year. So right now we'll do 2025. That gives us a 9, plus the month, plus the day. And here we're going to use the 22nd. And all of this we already saw on the calendar gives us that 39 that was highlighting, because that's the life path number of hip hop. But that's still just an overall day. So if we look at for hip hop, where hip hop's birth month is August, so 8, and its birthday is 11. And so now, if we add this up, so 8 plus 11 plus the 39, we get 58. And why this is important. So the individual day vibration for hip hop on the 22nd. So this is for August 22nd. This is that day where we have Venus and Chiron in aspect, and we have the new moon in Aries. So we have all these things highlighted for hip hop. This is ugh, I hate saying his name. But this is this plastic guy that we like to keep our eyes on and just be aware of. That's his life path number. 58 is his life path number. So, we're seeing all of these synchronicities and these connections between these vibrations. So, we could also potentially see between and let me move back over here. So if we're looking for so we can make some pretty good predictions that we're going to see some pretty significant events, especially around God, I don't like saying his name, just like other people. I don't like saying their name. But right around, it would probably be between this 20th all the way down to like this 28th. So this whole 9 cycle, but really targeted around this 22nd, 23rd. Probably not so much on the 23rd, just because it's a weekend. So if it's court proceedings that we're expecting to see, probably around the 21st, 22nd. So just to be aware that these energies are happening. And this is why I wanted to come on and make sure that I got this information out there for everybody. The last thing I will talk about before I go is a little bit more on this new moon that we have. So this new moon in Virgo on the 22nd, it is at actually 0 degrees Virgo, which means it's the purest Virgo energy that we could ever have. And so as we're setting our intentions, they are going to be much more strong and powerful in this energy, in this 0 degrees energy. And so what we want to do is you want to make sure that your intentions are very strategic. Very strategic. So Virgo is all about being analytical and practical. And so we want to set some very practical intentions of things that we want to build. Also, anything around like, let me get a different color here, daily life. So practical daily life things are like routines and habits. So if you can have a setting of your intentions, be putting on like creating some new intentions and some new habits, it's going to be very powerful under this new moon. Hey, baby love, I'm glad you made it. I know this was unexpected. Everybody's going to have to go back, but it's okay. It's okay. There's some good stuff. This new moon on the 22nd, you are able to set 3 sets of intentions. So be very aware, especially because this is very fertile ground. So we're setting intentions for a 2-week period. That'll take us to September 7th. We have, and you might want to take a screenshot of this because we have some important astrology that's happening here leading up to the 22nd. That's going to be important. We need to be aware that this also is an eclipse. So I didn't write that on here, but this is an eclipse, which makes it more powerful and more of a revelation. And then here on the 21st, 22nd is also an eclipse. Yes, I did say fertile, but I didn't say moist. Those are two words I actually don't like, but I sometimes just have to use it. So we can set these 2 week intentions um, to be able to really high power these intentions around the full moon. Then in March 3rd, 2026 is now where we're getting to the full moon in Virgo. And so then we can have 6 month intentions. And we have this whole cycle here that'll end November 21st, 2027. So this is a 2.5 year strategic intention. And so my suggestion is a couple of things. For yourselves, create these intentions where I would set a 2.5 year intention goal and then backtrack and set a 6 month goal that will help lead to this 2.5 year goal, and then backtrack to the 2 weeks and have the 2 weeks help it, because this is such big energy. We want to make sure that we're pulling it all with us, and putting it into this big huge goal. So that's the first thing for us as individuals. The second thing is be highly aware, especially in that hip hop space, of things that are getting started in this time. So anything that's getting started, so anything that's new music, some new topic, a new filing, anything that's new that is starting. And we're seeing that right now with hip hop reactors, that we're just starting on this divide, but also the standing 10 toes down for what you believe in. It's starting right now in this new moon energy. We should expect to see this energy generate outcomes in 2 weeks, in 6 months, and in 2.5 years. So for any of you that are hip hop reactors, this is a good time where you can make actually more predictions than you would usually do. So do that. Okay, I think that's all I have. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and share this information and hop off, and actually dry my hair, which is dripping all down my back right now. Very uncomfortable. But thank you all for being here. Please make sure that you hit the like button on your way out. Go back and review this, and feel free to give me any kind of comments, questions. What are you seeing? What are you feeling as we go into this week and into this energy, especially in that hip hop space, also in the US space? Because there could potentially be some big things, if not happening this week, some big things seeded this week, like started, like planted this week. So let's really keep a watchful eye out. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that like. If you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. And I will see you again soon. Hopefully not super soon, but soon. Thank you so much. Bye.